So let's see what we have here today. This is Tolisnaya. It's yeah, this is Vodka. This is Savannah Club. This is yeah, that's rum. Yeah, I've seen something good for us to talk about. So I have here with me Hennessy. Yeah, like I always say, it's always good to have some knowledge about whatever you eat and whatever you drink. So now I've seen something interesting which we are going to talk about, and that's Hennessy. Now, what is Hennessy? Hennessy is a cognac. And what is a cognac? A cognac is a brandy. And what is a brandy? A brandy is an alcoholic beverage, a spirit that is distilled from white wine. I repeat, a brandy is an alcoholic beverage or a spirit that is distilled from white wine. Now, why do we label some brandies cognac and some are not allowed to be labeled cognac? Now, the reason is this. The name cognac is a patented name for a particular region in the southwest of France called the Charente region. What this means is that for a drink to be labeled cognac, it must be produced in this wine region of France, which is located in the southwest of France, called the Charente region. If it is not produced there, you are not allowed to legally label it cognac. So that is settled. Now, I stand to be corrected. Of all the brandies in the world, the French cognac is one of the most elegant, one of the finest. Like I said, I stand to be corrected. Yeah, so let's dig a little bit and know how cognac is produced. We have about 3 major wine grapes species that are used in the production of cognac. They include what we call the Ugni Blanc, the Colombard, and the third one is um, the Colombard, the Ugni Blanc, and the Folie Blanc. So these are the 3 major grape wine species that are used in the production of cognac. Now, the process of distillation of cognac is this. You pump the wine grape, the white wine, with yeast into the distilling flask, and then, heat it up for up to like 90 degrees, and then the vapor that comes out of it, passes through the condenser and then is collected as a distillate. Now, the distillation is carried out twice, and this process of distillation is called the alembic method. It's a very ancient method of distilling wines. So now, after this distillation, the cognac is usually colorless, nothing is added. Now, the next step is what? Aging, or what is called the ripening process. Now, this involves, storing the distillates, the distilled wine, into oak barrels, specifically oak barrels. No other types of barrels are used in the aging process of cognac. Oak barrels are used in the, aging process. Remember, I said something when I talked about, in my last video, when I talked about gin. Gin does not require aging process, but cognac, Hennessy cognac, requires that. Now, so the mild aroma of cognac and its golden yellow color is derived from these oak barrels. So the aging process takes place for a minimum of 2 years. It's usually longer, but the minimum aging period, the minimum ripening period for cognac is 2 years. Now, so based on this aging process, you can differentiate between different, qualities of cognac based on the length of time it is, allowed to ripen or to age. For instance, this one I have here is very special. It's called VS. That is the first level of the first and the lowest level of cognac, VS, which means very special. Now, whenever you see Hennessy or any other brand of cognac labeled VS, it means that cognac was aged or allowed to ripen for a minimum of 2 years. Now, the next level, the second level is called the VSOP, very special old par. Now, that one is allowed to ripen or to age for a minimum of what? 4 years. Now, the highest level and the third level is the XO. XO means extra old. Yeah, so the older, of course, the better for wines. So the XO, the extra old, or you can as well call it the Napoleon, is allowed to ripen for a minimum of 6 years. Now, since 2016, this last level of cognac, the rule is a little bit changed in the sense that since 2016, for you to label cognac XO, it must be allowed to ripen for a minimum of 12 years, no longer 6 years. So before 2016, it was 6 years for you to label it XO. But since 2016, the rule was increased, was changed to 12 years. So when you see it extra old, it means it was allowed to ripen for a minimum of 12 years. You see the rigorous process that these drinks pass through before they get to us. Now, we have some, notable, some popular brands of cognac. Like the one I have here is one of the most popular, Hennessy. Of course, if you're a wine collector like myself, like I always say, please, you need to have some, bottles of cognac in your collection. Let's even see this thing. I hope it's not just carton. So that's it. That's the Hennessy here. So we have the Hennessy. Another brand is you have Baron Otage. You have Conversaire. You have Martel. Martel is another nice one. Cognac. Yeah, Conversaire, Hennessy, Martel. Remy Martins is also another brand of, cognac. Now, how do we drink or how do we consume cognac? Cognac is usually served on the rock. When you hear served on the rock, it means it is served with ice. And you usually serve it in 2 or 4 cl volumes. You really don't need to drink much. And it is usually, taken as a digestive, like after meals, after heavy meals, you take shots, on the rock of cognac. It helps your food to digest. Now, like I always say again, drink responsibly. And if you are under the age of 18, you are not allowed to drink alcohol. If you like contents like this, please like, share, comment, and follow us for more. Thank you. See you in my next video.